All right, so I'm going to start off. I have a couple coaches that are on this slide that aren't here to share, but I'll share their stories for them real quick. So I like to just do this because it's really hard, I think, a lot of times with so much going on in social media and so many people in something to like really understand why I personally am involved in this company, and kind of like how it actually works. Where did it come from? So this gives like a little background on why they decided to start the Coach Network, is what it's called. And Beachbody's been around long before they had a coach network. They've been leading at home fitness for years. So hopefully this gives you some info and answer some questions if you have any.
Okay.
Um, all right. So a lot of times Rachel and Lauren will be on here too, but we're all really different on how we started and why we started. So I literally started because I couldn't ever fit anything in consistently enough to get results like maybe I did when I had like no care in the world and I just went to work, and then I would go to the gym for a few hours. And even then I would go to the gym for like a really long time, go get beer, go this, go eat burritos here in San Diego. Like, so I wasn't really focused on like my health and wellness. I was just focused on, yeah, let's go do this gym thing. And I was like, I'd spin and then I would lift, I do all this stuff. And years ago, my sister was getting married, and one of my good friends here, her sister had sent us the original Power 90 with Tony Horton. I think it was like probably like 18, 19 years ago that came out on, I think they were DVDs, not VHS. And I did it and it worked really well. And we did it, eventually did it from home. We took it to the gym and we increased our weights and things like that. So I had already done a Beachbody program and had success. I just didn't really realize that I had done it. Um, so I grew up as an athlete, as a diver in college, and people always told you what to do as well. So like I didn't really understand, and I didn't really care to understand. I just wanted somebody to like tell me what to do, and I would do it. Um, but the problem was my husband, not the only problem, but he kind of was like, "Oh, you're just going to start something and then stop." And I'm not, he's like, "I'm not paying for that shake every month." And I had tried to Shakeology and I was like, man, if this is like tastes like a milkshake and I can kind of help with like drive through coffee all the time, like white mochas, out the wazoo. I was stopping every day. I was spending way more than a shake was a day anyway on crap food. And I wanted to do it. And he said no. So I said yes in my mind. And I was like, well, there's this coaching opportunity where I can just pay for it. So I just have to help like some of my friends and family get started, and it will cover what I paid to get started. And that's kind of like where it got kicked off. I actually got to do a live PIO workout with Shalene Johnson here in San Diego. And I'm like, all right, this workout's no joke. Like, I could totally do this. I don't need any equipment, no shoes, no nothing. It's not like super high intensity. So that's kind of where it kicked off. And when I first started, I invited probably like 10 of my like friends, family, like friends, boyfriend, all this stuff. And it was so fun to like, at the time it was just Facebook, but it was so fun to like have the community and like push myself because they were expecting me to show up. And that's like pretty much exactly what a coach does. It's nothing, you don't need to be anything, and I'll get into that, but it was really kind of just a snowball effect after that because they were getting results and I was like, well shoot, I don't want to stop now because they're getting results and I'm getting results and we're all feeling better. So then that was 6.5 years ago. And Rachel and Lauren obviously aren't here right now, but Rachel's wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So she started coaching, to get out of the corporate world and to kind of focus on her. She's had two pregnancies where she's worked out through them and recovered from them. So it's been super cool. And Lauren has a great story, that she can share at another point, but she has super high anxiety, teacher on her third child, never saw her, never saw the baby, and was just finally like said yes to coaching. And I think it was about that following summer, she's like, I'm not going back. So she stays home and coaches full time, which is super awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the whole the whole point on putting the team together is Beachbody was a at-home fitness company that had, I mean, if anyone young is on here, they would never have seen the infomercials, but they had infomercials all the time. So people would see the workouts and they'd call in. And what happened was they started to do a research study. I think it was like 1997. Of course, the notes don't pop out, but they did a research on who bought the products or the workouts at the time. It was just workouts, and who actually got results from them. And over the study, they realized that there was a group of people that were being supported through their online chat. It was like a message board. Couldn't think of the word. It's not called chat then. It was an online message board, and they realized people were say, I just did this workout. Here's what helped me, and people were giving info. And so then they realized they had an opportunity to take those people to say, hey, you're already giving them help. We want to start a network marketing company with this and give you part of commission for helping the people. So it's kind of how it like kicked off. And at the time it was just a couple programs, Tony Horton and Shalene Johnson with like Turbo Fire. And I think there was like Slim and Six, some of the old workout programs. And slowly over the years, they've built, I think there's over 500,000 coaches. Not everyone is coaching. Some like are, discounting and stuff like that. But to be such a variety, and then to include full nutrition. I mean, the 2 full nutrition programs are crazy right now with the amount of value that they add, and then all of the supplements. And then they keep going from there. There's like a kids shake, and you could do the ultimate reset and all those different things that they have, because the whole concept for them and their mission is to help people live healthy and fulfilling lives and to achieve their own goals. So whatever your goal is, there should be something for you in this wealth of knowledge for you to succeed. So that's where the team came from. It is a network marketing company based on giving commission to people who are doing the work and helping them with spreading and supporting people and actually getting results. So they don't just buy the program and it sits in their living room in a box. They really want people to get results with it. And that's a big difference now, I think, in the world too, is everyone shares what they do. Like everyone shares their Peloton workouts and stuff like that, which is amazing because that means people are focusing on being healthy and hopefully putting like positive vibes out there. But you actually have the opportunity to earn income for it and to be rewarded for living that lifestyle, and then trying to encourage and influence other people to do the same thing and supporting them along the way. So that's like the basis of it. And then coach, a lot of times people get kind of caught up in not having the experience to coach. And really, like, what it comes down to is you have to just somewhat care about other people and to the point that you're willing to spend a little bit extra time encouraging. And it's like equating our, the bot app and say, hey, good job, and answering questions and things like that, to just, we do that all day long on social media. Somebody puts like a shirt they like at Target and you comment, and it's kind of like the way the world is anyway, but this is just making a conscious effort to be that person that is helping answer questions and guiding them to the right thing for them. Because you don't need to know everything, and I don't know everything still, but as you've gone through the programs, you have, even if you've never done a program and you start, you have something to add to somebody. Like you have value to add to them. And a lot of times people just need a little direction, and you're kind of like helping guide them to that right program. Try a different flavor shake, make it this way, tweak your nutrition a little bit because this is what works for me. Try and see if it works for you, stuff like that. And then as that goes on, then you're helping other people to help people. So I can only help so many people. I can only reach out to so many people. The only reason why I know you is because Amy, right? So same with Lauren. Lauren and Amy went to college together. They were in the same sorority. I went to college with them too, but I didn't know Lauren. And now Lauren is obviously a huge part of my life. So if I haven't reached out to initially whoever that person was, then the next person wouldn't have gotten involved. And it's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to do this, but whoever it does, those are the people that we want to support and say, hey, this really works well for me in the world right now. It really works well because a lot of people can't get to the gym, or the gyms are closed, or it's going to be, X amount of people can get in and you have to wait in line and whatever. And, you're in and out in your basement and done. And however much time you want to put in, that's pretty much the commute to your basement or to your garage is pretty short. There's no waiting. It's all on you. So once people kind of get their head wrapped around that, and mind you, there are still coaches that go to the gym and do CrossFit and do whatever, and they're really focused on the nutrition and the supplements. And you don't have to do the programs, but when you do, you have an understanding and you have confidence in the program, as long as the person commits to it. It might be perfect, but they commit to it. So that's what you're really trying to do. And then you're trying to help other people. Like, I know it's weird or scary, but just like you would tell somebody about your favorite restaurant, You're going to tell them about your favorite program, and yes, you happen to get paid for it, but you're working. So like I used to kind of get caught up on that a little bit, but I'm like, I spend my extra time pouring into this, not sitting on the couch. I mean, I still sit on the couch and watch TV or usually fall asleep, but still like it's, it's another part of my life and I'm working for it. So it's not like I'm doing nothing. It's just certain times of the day, this is what I do. So that's it, really leading by example and stuff. And then I kind of touched on it a little bit, but what a coach is not is they do not have to be certified anything like that, and we really try to put that out there. And sometimes I think it can get misconstrued in the big world of people hating on you and stuff like that, that they think you're I've had this, just not me personally because I try not to do it, but I've seen this happen where they're saying, oh, you're trying to give information, you don't have any credentials or whatever. It's like, no, there is food nutrition experts, food scientists, Beachbody. I've been to their corporate in Santa Monica. It is insane. It's a huge corporation. It has more than one headquarters. They have a whole food science department, registered dietitians. Clearly, they have plenty of certified personal trainers. There's the super trainers that you see. There's about 10 or more trainers behind them, all working together to come up with the program that's going to give you the best results in the amount of time, in the amount of like the exercise time, the length of the program, the type of workout that you're looking for, combined with the nutrition. So you don't have to know everything, and I'm glad that I don't have to know everything. It's just the experience that you get by doing them gives you the confidence to share them, but you always turn back to the people that are creating the programs and giving those tools to people, because that's how can you explain how the color coded containers work? Well, now the whole Ultimate Portion Fix explains all that. And there's somebody in a lab somewhere figuring out the macros, and I don't have to do it. I'm totally fine with that. I don't really want to know. That's too intense for me. So, which is great. And if somebody is, like, I've talked to personal trainers, and my mentor was a personal trainer. Totally fine. It just gives you an added level of experience that you can bring to somebody, whether it's you get hurt or form. There's physical therapists, there's medical doctors that are coaches, there's all sorts of everything. So it doesn't matter if you do have the experience, and that just gives you an added level of support for the people, which is pretty cool. So what we actually really do is like, all right, so what do you do every day as a coach? First and foremost, and we have these things called vital behaviors as coaches. First and foremost is show up for yourself. If you're not showing up for yourself, people see it. You, like, for me, example, if I start to like kind of dwindle on my nutrition and stuff, my transformation pictures dwindle and I don't share them as much. So like, people see when you don't show up and they see when you show up, and you will have no confidence in the program. And you don't have to, your goal doesn't have to be like a 6-pack. Like, I mean, Rachel, she's like 27 in that picture too. Like, like, she's young. She looks great after her first baby. That was actually a really crazy transformation. But and I love how she put it was a year, by the way, because it wasn't like she did it in 3 months. It took her a year to get to that.
Right.
A lot of people that do have babies, they get frustrated. I'm like, it took you 9 months to grow one. Calm down. You're not like, and I'm sure you weren't perfect while you were growing it. So you got to give yourself a chance to like get, it takes time. It's not a quick fix. But anyway, if you don't show up for yourself, if you're not walking the walk and talking the talk, then one, you're not confident in sharing it, and then people see right through it. Even though social media, is kind of a highlight reel, they still see through it, and they're not going to trust you. So that builds trust with whoever you're talking to, because you feel super confident in it too. And then sharing that journey. So kind of finding a mix. I feel like in social media is always changing, but trying to find a mix of sharing it, letting people know what you're doing, but also still sharing like who you are and what you like to do, and going out to dinner and doing all the things that you do in like a normal life. So it's not just always me working out, because that is right now 35 to 40 minutes of my day is a very important part of my day, but it's a really small part of my day. So what am I reading? What coffee shops do I love? Like all the other things that are about me that I kind of want to share with people. And then our challenge groups, which are accountability groups, they have a million different names now, but right now it's the BOD group, which is cool that everything now is one place. And it's been a work in progress for years. And they're like always developing and getting better, which is really awesome. So now everything's in one place on the BOD app. Nutrition tracking's there now, everything. So you can just pop in there. A lot of people, especially with the election in the last year, kind of fade off of Facebook or just want to take a break. So you can still support them if you're not on Facebook.
Right.
You still have the BOD app. You know, if they're on Instagram and not on Facebook, that's fine. We have our community in this app on your phone. Super easy. Should take you 5 minutes to check in, and kind of giving resources in there that people can use to help. And then reaching out to other people, connecting on social media, kind of finding people that are like you, that have common interests that you'd want to hang out with. So for example, there could be a team of women that, and there are some men, but a lot of ours are women, that whatever they like to do, whether it's they're like doing their makeup and getting dressed up and doing like really, really girly things. It's not really like, I don't attract that vibe because it's not really me. I can, but I just prefer to not focus on those things as much. I don't drink a ton, but I love to go have like a beer or a glass of wine or something like that. But some people, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Whatever's your thing is kind of what you start to attract. And not that we don't want to be like diverse and inclusive, but it's like, who would I want to go on this trip with and hang out with? Because we do get, in a normal year of coaching, we get to travel and we do like rewards trips and we earn trips and then we go to conferences and stuff like that. It's like, who would you go there and have fun with? That's who you want on your team. And you don't need like hundreds of people coaching with you. But you just don't want like it to feel like you're totally out of place in that team, or as far as like coaches go. And as clients, it's like starts with like friends and family and referrals and things like that. Everybody in light of the coronavirus, to just throw it out there, needs to take better care of themselves. It's clear that has attacked people that haven't set that up. And the more you take care of yourself and the more you focus on your health, the better off you're going to be. And just doing something every day is really helpful. So feeling like, you know, you can help somebody in this life, in this day and age, especially right now, is really awesome. And yeah, so that was connecting, reaching out with other people, and then teaching other people what we do. So as people come in and want to start to coach, if they want to run out of the gate, if they want to just help their mom, it doesn't really matter. It's whatever the person wants to do with it. And then that may change over time, that may go away. It's just kind of being like, here are the resources. This is what we do. This is how I do it, and do it how it feels comfortable for you. But it also helps to kind of, I think for me, it's helped to level up, like me personally. You know, I just try a little bit harder in certain areas, I think, than just skating by. Especially one of the, like I was saying earlier, that we have 4 vital behaviors we try to do every day as coaches, and one is to read. And I never, even the first 2 years of when I coached, I maybe listened to a few things. I never read. I just had a really hard time reading. I would fall asleep all the time. So I read in the mornings now, like 10 to 20 pages a day if I can get that in. And that's made like a huge difference on me at my full-time job, like how I lead at work, how I have conversations with people, just how I like reach out and actually feel like I care about people a little bit more. So that's been a cool thing that's a little bit harder to share. Like as time has gone on, that's made a big difference.
Yeah.
And then the key that most people want to know, so like, do you actually earn money, and how do you earn money, and how does it work? So there are multiple streams of income possibilities as a coach. And in almost like any business that's there's direct sales and network marketing. They're a little bit different, but how it works is one, commission. But that, if you've ever heard anybody doing very successfully, earning multiple 6 figures or 6 figures a year, it's not based solely on commission. It's growing your team. So you could only help, like I was saying, you can only help so many people a month, and the commission is great. Like you get 25 to 40%. So if I were to say have somebody sign up with a challenge pack, so they get whatever the supplement they want, a year of on demand, whatever the workout program, if they have anything else. So that would be like 25% of that. If they're ordering Shakeology every month, same thing. So that kind of helps just to like pay back your products and not pay for things, or maybe decrease how much, even if like, you know, when I think very first started, my sister and my mom and my dad were drinking Shakeology and things like that. So that's a commission base. And then as you grow a team, you earn on how well everybody does. So that's really where you start to get these bonuses on, and you get paid weekly. So you start to get bonuses on how well the team does. And I have some really great videos when people are interested in this to like lay it out and to see it and to go a little further in depth. But just, it's like, if my team is doing well, I'm going to be rewarded for them, because we're all supposed to be a team and working together. And then it kind of like gets the sometimes negative connotation of a pyramid, which is illegal, is a pyramid scheme, but there's products being given to people. Like if you are a client and you're paying for them anyway, you're getting something as a coach. Even if you're just getting it for the discount, you're receiving something for that. You're not just putting money into something and hoping that it like rolls up. So if my coaches are helping 5 to 10 people, like as a group, you know, and we're really starting to build a coaching team, then I'm rewarded. I get matching bonuses. I get, depending on how you go up in the company, they're called ranks. You're going to get bonuses on Beachbody's like revenue every quarter. They hand out bonuses to people at a certain rank. So you can't just like be doing nothing. You have to be at a certain rank. And then the rewards and like the trip incentives and things like that I know there's like Mary Kay, you get a convertible or whatever it used to be, some kind of car they used to give away. They don't give away cars. But every couple months, you know, like last year I got a Theragun. I love prizes. Like when I first started, I was like, wait, I get a free t-shirt. I was like, I'll do anything for a free t-shirt. But they give away like tanks for the Beachbody challenge and stuff like that. So they're all about rewards and incentives. And every year you can earn a trip. So the last 2 years it's been canceled, but that's how I've taken like my sister and my nieces on a cruise and things like that. That just gives you opportunity, which is pretty cool. To be like, okay, it's pushing me a little bit harder to work every month to help more people, 3 to 5 people every month get started, and I can earn a vacation to Mexico. It's pretty cool. And there's other stuff too. There's other incentives and conferences as you're doing well that you get sent to. And then a couple of these, 3 out of these 4 pictures where our smaller team will do, you know, a rewards trip. We used to do it every February, March. So we've waited. I think the last one I couldn't go is the bottom left because of work. But those are really fun because then it feels like that's like your smaller, like tighter knit community that you're traveling around with. We're all have similar goals, trying to just be a little bit better and help more people to do that. And then gives you an excuse to get away. And we'll do like photo shoots and go to dinner or make dinner, stuff like that. Yeah, it's really fun. Like make shirts for everybody and stuff. It just adds an added level of like pushing yourself to get. That's where like I know when I first started, I earned one to Lake Tahoe, and the girl who she's like a couple mentors up for me. It was at her, like it was only a few of us went. It was at her house, and I'm like, I need to get away. I was having a rough time at home. Like my marriage was rough. I'm like, I need to get away. I had a 3-year-old, and I had earned it. So I'm like, well, it's Tahoe is super cheap. Like she paid for everything the whole weekend, but we had to pay to get there. And then it was so fun. Like I just saw what was possible. This person was like seriously doing it full time, earning a really great income. She took us on a helicopter ride, and I was like, what is this real life? Like I just got a $200 bonus from the government for a year after taxes. I'm like, that is crazy. Like to see what's really possible if you do the work. Most people don't do the work, and I'm nowhere near there. It's part-time and not making 6 figures by any means. So not to just say that, but just to be able to have those possibilities and to kind of add an added level to life, it just kind of like that for me is super exciting to be able to have those opportunities. So
absolutely,
yeah, pretty cool. And then I had to put the disclaimer at the bottom because like they always make you put the legal disclaimer because you can make no money. I mean, it's like if you went to work every day and didn't work, you're not going to probably get paid and stay very much longer. So it does take, and I'd say it takes a lot more work in the beginning because you're learning. It's like going to college for 4 years, but working the whole time. So it's not like you're in class all day, but you have to be willing to be like, all right, I know nothing about this. I need to learn. And people that come in that haven't even ever done a program, they need to at least build up their confidence in the company itself.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. Like, you know, I've been very consistent, at least in the last, I don't know, 3 months or so, doing the programs and continuing. And, you know, that's where I want to get. Like, I want to be able to get myself consistent and eating healthy and, you know, and having those before and after pictures and showing results before I go and, you know, try to get other people involved. Like I have to be confident, like you were saying, I have to be
Yeah.
confident in myself and I have to be able to be confident in the program. And I
Right.
am confident. I mean, I know it works.
Yeah.
You know, I feel great when I'm doing it and I just have to consistently stick to it and
Mhm.
get it together.
And I think that is like one of the keys as a coach for me is that it's kept me accountable to staying consistent the whole time. So I like maybe would do, 30, 60, 90 days and then fall off for like the same amount of time. And then you have to start over. So like because I'm coaching, it's really that added level of accountability to be like, you don't need to be perfect. I think I always joke, but I'm like totally serious. I ate 2 of those Reese's eggs yesterday, like the big, like the big ones. It was a bad day at work too. And like a sleeve of cookies. I seriously struggle with nutrition, but it's not all the time. And I've been consistent long enough that when those happen, I know how to pull it back together and be like, all right, you're getting a little out of control. Like you're not going to feel good if you do that. And it's not good for you. So it's like, I'm never perfect. And I get results because of the consistency over a long time, not because I just work out for 30 minutes a day. And I really am a huge advocate for starting a program and finishing it because that is why it's written a specific way. So like if you're only to work out 15 to 20 minutes, it better be really hard and you better be really dialed in your nutrition because you can't magically expect that to work.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's that. And then, so how we support actual new coaches. Beachbody has a ton themselves, corporate resources with our coach online office. It's called, you like out the wazoo to help people. Super awesome trainings. And then we try to do the same thing like in our coach teams. So my boss just called. It's like a Saturday, so I have to call him back after this. I can't see. Anyway, but we have team-led trainings. We have upline support, which is would be me to you. So we'll have like weekly training calls and whatever you can hop into. We have the corporate does a national wake-up call every Monday morning to put out information and have a coach come on and share their story. And there's a Team Beachbody podcast. You can go and just listen to it and be like, all right, let me hear somebody else's story because not everybody is going to relate to everybody, but then you'll start to hear somebody that maybe is like you or the situation you've been in. Like, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. If they had there's people that started with absolutely no fault, like no social media, and then they learned it and then they did it in how it felt comfortable for them. There's people that have come in with already had 10,000 followers on Instagram, so like everybody's going to be different and the trajectory of their business is going to be different. So like if you're only seeing one example or something like that, it may be discouraging if you're not on that same route. So
Right.
try to kind of share like different people's stories, and that also gives you stories to share with other people. So like if somebody didn't relate to me and I can be like, oh, you were a teacher, here's Lauren's story. Oh, you're a doctor, cool, we have that too. Here's XYZ story. Or you're a personal trainer, Crystal, that's in that picture, the biggest picture in the middle that we're all kind of pointing at her shirt. She was a personal trainer and wanted to be home. Like you can only help so many people in person. You're hustling all the time. She wanted to be able to help more people and be home with her 3 kids. Now she has 3 and she's able to do that. So she also has that disease where your heart keeps growing. Her mom died of it when she was 37 and she got diagnosed like 2 years ago. So she's had to completely alter, like her whole life has been fitness. She's had to completely alter her workouts, adjust everything so that she has a defibrillator, all this stuff. And it's like, well, man, if the personal trainer who lived and breathed fitness can adjust and still continue, anybody can.
Right.
So it's nice to start to hear other people's stories and feel like you're part of the team. So that's why we do team calls and things like that to give support, because it is a lot to learn. But when it comes down to it, it's been really trying to align somebody with what will work for them and support them in reaching their goals. And then all this other stuff, the ins and the outs and how to get really good at social media and things like that, they come along the way. But when you just stay focused on why do you do it? Why do you feel better? And then asking that person, like, what are you lacking? What are you missing? Like, you hate yoga, don't do yoga. Like you hate to lift weights, try bar blend. It's like as simple as that to just get them going.
Right.
and getting them into the group and involved in the group and feeling the support from the community to be like, oh, okay, there's something about this that I'm interested in. I want to be a part of it more than just a client, to stay accountable, whatever it is. Well, that was the last slide anyway. So that is really what I try to share to give a little bit more background. One of the company, a little bit on how the commissions work, and then someone that maybe has never done a Beachbody program, if they have questions about, yeah, you can lift, there's Body Beast, there's The Work is one of the hardest programs I have ever done. He's an NBA trainer, like he's not messing around. So it's like, if you don't like that, you don't want to be huffing and puffing, then maybe you should try something else. You can
Right.
dance, you can do whatever. So yeah.
There's definitely a lot of programs out there for everything.
Yeah. And it's like, they're not going to stop. They're going to keep leveling up. I don't know if you saw, they just actually went live on this, or public on the stock exchange. And they did
No,
yeah, I don't know when it goes. I'm going to stop recording.